My name is Manzoor Memon. I am editor-in-chief of Is Honesty the Best Policy and executive producer for PBC TV Network. Today we are here to do this documentary on Harris County Appraisal District. This is the building of Harris County Appraisal District located at 13013 North Freeway, Houston, Texas. Appraisal districts are county-based agencies in every county of the country, which controls the value of your properties. In Houston area, Harris County Appraisal District, which is called HCAD, assesses values within this county. I have been a property owner myself, and I have been fighting for the values of my own property since last 31 years. And I have concluded that the procedure of assessment is based on fictitious numbers to defraud the public. This is a very strong statement I'm giving in the beginning, but because of my 30 years experience in this, I want to say that these numbers are basically, this is all the number game, and system is like that, works that every year Harris County sends their representative to your location, and they are supposed to give the feedback to the Harris County Appraisal District how much value your property should be assessed. That should be based on equity, market value, and the comparative prices of the properties in the same area. Harris County Appraisal District in turn sends a proposed assessed value of your property to you. Generally, property values are increased based on the sales in the area. So for every 100 properties, maybe 40 to 50 people take it seriously and fight the value, and the rest don't contest the increase. In turn, your value goes up and Harris County collects more taxes on your property than the previous year. Now, if done right, the value should be based on the percentage increase in the property values in the year. However, various hidden and confidential factors are applied to make property values higher to collect more taxes from the uninformed public. Rich people hire companies found by past employees of Harris County Appraisal District to fight the values, who with their contacts get the values lowered, whereas the common men fight their cases on their own, and most of the time they fail in getting the values reduced to the actual appraised value. This way, Harris County keeps on manipulating the values higher and higher to collect more taxes from the poor and unprivileged people. In this process, when you receive the notice of your appraised value, you are supposed to go in an informal hearing to protest the value. And if you fail to negotiate desired value, then it goes to the appraisal board, which is formed by political appointee by the Harris County, who claim that they have no interest in your properties. However, at no instance in 31 years, I have been able to convince any ARB member, which is arbitration board, to reduce the value, as they also play like a court-appointed mediator who decide the case in the midpoint. What it means, that when you go to a mediator, he comes and talks to you, you say 100,000, they say 120,000, and ARB will say, okay, we'll give you 110, which means you still pay more tax and feel that you won the from Harris County Appraisal District. That is not true. In my view, this is all a gimmick, and we all fall in the trap. In one case, ARB's incompetence can be seen when two properties on the same street, built in the same year, with flip-flop build-out, would have two final appraised value during the same hearing. So when you are fighting on the values, they don't see. They are just playing the numbers and give you a value which they think is right, which generally, in my view, is a very poor judgment on their behalf. In recent hearings with ARB, Harris County Appraisal District, when they don't find any comparative sales, they use fictitious factors applied to the comparative properties to try to hold higher values. In short, This is a number game. More you fight, more you sink in the hole, and there is no way to win from them. For 30 years, I fought these values, and in one instance, I tried to hire a company to represent me who did worse than I would have done in the same cases. In the one case, they did not even attend the hearing, which caused my value skyrocketing to 40 to 45% in value, and I had no option but to seek Harris County court system to decide the real value of these properties. The procedure is this, that if you don't like ARB value, you can either go to the court or use an arbitrator who sometimes is again a political friend of the officials, do the same work as ARB members, and they just reduce the value a little to keep you happy. In short, this is the biggest scam, and the people need to rise and fight their case to keep their values in line with the quality of the property they own. Today we will try to meet with some of the officials and show you some footage of the hearings, besides meeting some people fighting their cases to see what their experiences are. We'll give you some clips in which, while fighting our cases, when the questions were asked from ARB, no tangible answer was given, which means this is all a number game, and we need to change the system.
Again, I would request that on a property earlier discussed, 2030 state, it was approved at $92 per square foot. And then we went on the next one, it went to 106, and this went to 114. So there is basically no compatibility on these numbers, and unfortunately, I don't know how the ARB is looking into this. If the house is selling for $118,000, how can it be compatible to this, our house is going to be for $197,000? Because I'm still not able to understand, district has not been able to explain me, and I would like a little more explanation on the camera here, that, can you explain me that if you got a house which was sold for $118,000, same square foot, same year, how my house could be $197,000? Can you just explain me that?
I just did the math.
Look at your math, I don't know, I don't understand. I'm an engineer myself, I've done 40 years in engineering, but your math is not fitting my brain. So can you explain me a house which was sold, same square feet for $118,000, how come my house be $197,000? Can you just in layman's terms explain me?
But what we need is a justice for the poor people. The main concept about our documentary is the poor person is not getting a fair hearing, and the people who are rich and famous, they have contacts, they have these companies, and they go use their contacts, get their property values down, and the common man who does not have any resources to fight the cases, they suffer.
Hi, I'm here with Marcy, and Marcy, I think you are
I'm a real estate agent.
real estate agent.
Yes.
You have your own property?
I own the property, and as well, I represent some investors.
Okay. The people are saying that this is all number game. You go there, they jack up your prices, okay? And then you go, say the price was 100,000, jack to 130, and then you go and they put you a midpoint, 115. And so that's what is happening with it. So how can, what you can do as a public?
The public, number one, have to be very knowledge, and they have to find the real estate agent to help them, because we are the people who know about numbers. So we started the market. I understand that last year the price value was higher. I see now the price is going down, and the market is shifting. It's doing shift now. So if you are a homeowner, I would recommend you go to your agent, the one who sold you the property, go to a local company, request somebody who can coach you through the process, because you're the homeowner. It's so many numbers. They do a great evaluation of the market, but you have to be knowledgeable. So if you present your case on the county.
But I have myself been a property owner. I have been citing for last 30 years.
Wow.
Today I got this analysis of about 30 properties, same area, same thing, different values. They never see an average value. They just play with the numbers. And so
They do because they cannot see the condition of the property. One thing I see is they cannot evaluate the condition of the property. They do the numbers in general. They see what the market's moving there, and they don't see the condition of the property. The property doesn't have any carpet. They compare what sold in the last year.
exactly, that's another point. They see if there's a house, which is a custom house, sold for $200,000.
They don't do apples with pears. They say everybody's apple. Honestly, people have to get more knowledge about the value on the market. Go and search the pictures of the property. Look your property, real property compared with the market, because they don't do average, high price, or low price. They do one price and that's it.
For everybody. So that is very hard. I'm doing for the 30 years. I never had a good luck.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a real estate agent. I've been 16 years in the business, and I have good luck because I have a knowledge. I carry the knowledge when I do.
Maybe I should use you next time. But she's telling me that she will help you in your property value free of charge. I never heard it. In America, nobody does this for free. Why you do that?
The reason is simple. I serve people, and anybody have problems with the price value, I reach my clientele and the community. Whoever needs help, I would love to do the evaluation for you. I would love to come and talk to the board about what really the price of the house is. My number is 832-752-8972. You can reach me on that number.
Free of charge. This is a public service message.
I do a service for the community.
Very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate your service.
Yes.
We are here with a lady who just came in out from informal hearing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your experience with the Harris County Appraisal District?
It's been quite positive. There have, times where it varied, but today's been quite fruitful. The gentleman was extremely patient and cordial.
Did they increase your value from last year or not?
Well, we had some adjustments done today, but yes, it had been increased.
So how much do you see increase every year coming in?
It varies. I don't have a figure to offer to suggest how much, but it varies.
Yeah. But do you know that they constantly increase the values based on the other properties, and do you have to really fight every year to get a good deal?
Well, I don't come just say every year, but I try to come as frequent as I can to keep it within a range.
Okay. So you are happy with what you got today?
I feel comfortable with it.
So let's talk about appraisal board. Now, appraisal board is an independent body, you're saying, right?
Correct. That's correct. They're totally independent from the appraisal district. Hearings are held here because there has to be an appraiser representing the appraisal district. So it's more convenient to have them here in the building so that the appraisers can be in the hearings. And the appraisal review board then is chosen by a state district judge here in Houston. There would be one that would do that for each county as well. And then the people who are interested in becoming members of the appraisal review board submit an application, and the judge reviews the application and makes a determination, selects the people who are going to be on the appraisal review board for the following year.
So there's a judge from Harris County who appoints these people.
Correct.
Okay, and who pays these members of the review board?
The members of the review board are paid through the tax dollars of all the jurisdictions, of all the taxing units. So the city, the school districts, municipal utility districts, the county, they all put money into the appraisal district for our budget. And then we would write a check to the appraisal review board members.
So technically, Harris County Appraisal District pays for the review members.
The Harris County Appraisal District would write the check for the new members.
So,
and they would do the administrative work rather than having the appraisal review board have a budget staff.
But that's the one gray area what people have been talking about when I have talked to other people, that how can they be independent when Harris County Appraisal District pays for their remuneration. So we have talked to some people, and some of the people are very happy with your procedure. We met with one older lady, and she came out of the interview and she was very happy. I met one person who was a real estate agent, and she was not happy because she thought also that this is more of like you have to fight on the numbers and all that. So basically there are both opinions out there, but I think it's a good system. The only thing my request to you would be, my personal experience I want to share with you is that they are not doing an apple-to-apple comparison, because that is the only flaw I'm seeing, that if there is this house which is built in an older subdivision with custom features, they should not compare that to a house which is a rental house, which is a old house or something. And then like say if they have one house built on one street, it increases the value of 200 houses. Then one house gets sold, they increase the value of 200 houses across the board, and then they make the people fight on everything. And that part as a public, I'm saying that it may not be a very positive thing to do, which kind of give you a negative impact on the public, is that you should see that if there's one house sold, say for $120 per foot, and the other houses are $100 per foot, maybe that $120, maybe it was a custom house, or maybe there was something in there. So you make 200 people fight for their life to get their value back to that where it was, and that is one flaw your system has. So maybe address that. This is my personal opinion on that this is what they are doing it. And sometimes they are not looking the universal market in the Houston area, how much the values have gone up. I think they should look that also. If the value has gone up 5%, 6%, which is fine that you should increase to 5-6%, but then a lot of times they jack up the prices. I've got about 11 properties, they were valued about 37 to 44% more from last year. And when this question was brought it up that, hey, not a single house in the whole Houston area has gone more than 4 or 5%, and where did you come up with this 37% increase? But there was no answer to that. But ARB was nice enough that they realized that the market has not gone that up, and they reduced the value. It's not that, but you have to fight as a customer. We have to fight for those numbers, and instead of that, there could be some better way.
I hired a company to do it, O'Connor & Associates, and so lately the work they do in protesting my appraisals was really poor work, and so I decided this year for the first time I would go down there and do it myself, and it was incredibly easy. If you get a difficult panel, then you might lose on all of them, but I find that they try to be pretty fair, and I don't think it's a chance that they'll go against you on all of them. I think, as a matter of fact, it encourages them if they say no to your challenge, your protest, that eventually on some of the properties they're going to say yes just to give you a win.
But generally the people are saying, the people I'm interviewing, they are saying it's more of like a number game. You go there, it's like an arbitration or mediation. You go with the numbers and negotiate, and they give you like a midpoint, happy for appraisal district, happy for you kind of a deal. But what's your impression on that? Is that a number game or?
I think if it's a close call and both sides have good evidence, I think they'll go in the middle. If you have the time, or if you have a large number of properties, I think it's better off to do it yourself, especially since most of the compensation for these companies are based on the amount of savings. If you're going to save a lot of money, you might as well do it yourself and maybe save a couple $100 or a couple $1,000.
Here are a few clips from some ARB hearings, which shows that the district officials create new ways to mislead the ARB as well as uninformed public. But when asked questions about the ways the assessed value is calculated, they have no answers. Nor ARB gives patient hearings as they act like mediators to give little relief but no justice is done to give the right values. In a sample research of 21 properties, we see an increase of 50% to 5% in the same neighborhood, which does not make sense as to how the property value can be gone 50% to 5%. These are the 21 properties we show. And when we talked with officials of district, they have no answer that how in the same neighborhood the value of the one house from the last year went 50% up, and one went to 26% up, and one went 5% up. Generally, you need to see the trend of the property. Generally, the trend in this area was about 5 to 6%. And when we were in ARB, we're trying to fight on the same analogy that these values should be about 5 to 6% increase from the last year, but the values were not given the way it should be.
The thing that's making it lower really is this factor right here.
But this is your self-created factor.
This point 0.8.
But what that factor is, can you explain me that factor, please?
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the account. Because you take the sale price minus the land comes to 91,000 divided by the square footage.
Okay.
1401, that comes to 64. Now with that factor, I divide by 0.8, which bumps it up to 81. So that's a bump from 64 to 81.
Yeah, but then what is that factor? Where are you coming up with this factor? I want to know that, what that factor is. Because to me, this is just a self-created factor few people are using.
Let me call and see if anybody else has that factor.
So using your own factors and all that, you're basically fooling the public, honestly speaking. And that's what I'm here, to discuss this also, The district must need to reevaluate how they are doing this thing. Common man cannot even fight with you people. I've been fighting with you people for 30 years and I still have not gone anywhere with you. And I don't know how the common people will do a math with you people. Your math is, with due apologies. At least do apple to apple what you are doing before. But then here what we are doing, we are contradicting our own decision. One decision we are making on one number and then on another one we are playing the games of this number. And that's what the whole thing is, I tell you, public is very upset about this, that you people just play numbers. And the common man, I don't know how they can fight with you people on these values. No, I'm not going anywhere. So I'm going to give up my right to defend because I don't agree with all this analysis that they have. My analysis should be based on how much the house is selling for in the neighborhood, and it should be comparable to my house, and that's what the value should be given. Which I am not seeing it. All these factors are fictitious in my view, and I think it needs to go to the legal system to try to sort it out.
Sure. Mr. Memon, we're back to you if you have any questions, first of all.
Justify me $42,000 increase in this property, which is almost like a 50% more than in the improvements. What happened to this property that we have gone 50% more?
Okay. Well, I think she gave her presentation, so I don't know that there's really any answer to that.
Yeah.
So if you've got any rebuttal, we'll...
Yeah, rebuttal is this, that, the maximum you should increase is the 6% based on the market value, which is 100,365, not a 50% increase in improvement.
Okay. And do you have any closing comments, sir?
No.
Okay. Ms. Ms. Crispin, anything further? We're going to close testimony and the panel will be in deliberation, so.
Madam Chair, based on the evidence and testimony and also the information that the property owner provided, I'm going to be at $115,000 for market and equity $136,000.
Okay, Madam Chair, I was a little low. I was at 110 for market and 136 for equity.
Okay. And on this one, I was at 100,365 for market. I didn't see any sales that should have driven.
I'd come down to 110.
Well,
Oh, that's what I'm at.
Well, let me finish my equity and then we can discuss it. So my equity is $136,000. So we have 115, 100,365, and 110. You said what, sir?
I'm going to move from the 115,000 to 110,000.
Okay.
for market.
Thank you. Based upon the evidence and testimony presented for account ending in 0367, panel has determined the market value to be $110,000, equity to be $136,000, lower of the two shall prevail, final value $110,000. This concludes the hearing. I believe that $111,000 is a very fair market value for that, considering there's more land than the other property that we had done that was very similar to that. So $111,000 is my market, $128,800 is my equity.
Madam Chair, the land on both properties is $3 square foot, so that's solves the problem there. So I'm going to be at $111,000 for market, equity $128,800.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I also agree with the 111,000 for market, 128,800.
Okay, thank you. Based upon the evidence and testimony presented for account ending in 0576, panel has determined the market value to be $111,000, equity to be $128,800, lower of the two shall prevail, final value $111,000. This concludes the hearing.
In conclusion of our documentary, we see that there are a lot of things need to be done to make this process a little better and more accurate. The first recommendation is that ARB members, they claim that they have no knowledge about the property, which may be true or may not be true, but I think their more knowledge on the property can benefit the property owner rather than the district. Because if the ARB members are more educated on these properties, they will give a better judgment rather than playing these number games and acting like a mediator and then give you a middle point where you think that you got relief, but you really don't get the real value of your property. So my recommendation is ARB members should be educated, should be well conversant about the property. The second recommendation is that as ARB and arbitration process is biased against the property owner, because these are the people who are being paid and they are appointed by the county. So how can they be sidelined with the public rather than the district? Because more the value of the property, more that the taxes are collected by the county. So therefore they have to find out some way in which there is a independent people to be on the panel and they can give a right value and a justice to the people. Another recommendation is that district should use the market trend of the increasing the value, not on the based on one house selling in a neighborhood for higher value, and then what they do, they increase the value of all the houses, the whole neighborhood to that one value, which is not right, because that one house could be a custom house, could have a lot of features which other houses don't have it, but what they do, they pick up one or two sales and then they increase the value to 50% or 70% of the value, and end of the day everybody has to fight for these values. So which is not a right thing to do. They need to go individual each property and to see what is the trend in the market. If the market trend is 5% above the last year value, increase it, but not to 50% or 60% of the value. One more thing which we have seen is that in a neighborhood where there are tract homes, which are like homes built like 3 or 4 similar plants, it is seen that same square foot, same neighborhood, the value in one is higher, one is lower. The reason is, in one case somebody did not fight, one guy fought with the district and got his value reduced, which is not fair. If there are 100 houses in a neighborhood and there are 25 houses which are same floor plan, same year built, they should be valued the same. So I think the district has been very unfair in this because it's a number game. They play the number game with the people, and whoever fights it, they get a better value. Who doesn't fight it, they don't get it, which is not justice for the common man. So recommendation is check your properties, and if they are the same property, they should value be same. The last thing which we recommend is the public is not very educated on this, how to fight it, the values. So I think the district should create some videos, talk to different people, discuss the problems people are facing, just like our video, which I don't know whether it will be received with a positive attitude or not, but what we need is a justice for the poor people. The main concept about our documentary is the poor person is not getting a fair hearing, and the people who are rich and famous, they have contacts, they have these companies, and they go use their contacts, get their property values down, and the common man who does not have any resources to fight the cases, they suffer. So our request is give justice to the poor people, and that's what we always preach. The common man who is suffering, they should be given some relief, and this will be one place where the government can look into it and give the relief to the poor people. Thank you and have a good day.